Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Jean and we're going to continue on with our diamond painting butterfly here. I think we're like part 4, I think. It'll be in the description. I'm hoping to get it done in 2 more parts. We only have, let's see, I think this side we got all the 2s done. We have some 2s in here yet. We're going to finish up all the 2s. So where do I want to start? Let's start right here, I guess. So let me get a few on there. All right, let's see if I got enough out here. A little bit more I think we need. There we go. All right, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing good with those storms we had a while back, a few days ago. Uh-oh, I got too much. You can see how it's starting because I tightened it too much, so let's bring it back a little bit. I always forget to loosen it back up a little. Otherwise, it works pretty good. I like it. Better than dipping in to my wax all the time. And of course, I forgot to order some more refills. I may order another color pen too, you know. Doesn't hurt to have an extra one on hand in case you lose it. Trying to get, since I have the basement area and I got 2 different places I craft. This is where I tape. And so I'm trying to get the same supplies in both areas because right now I'm just kind of like bringing them up and down all the time because I keep forgetting to bring things when I need them too. So I want to have doubles of pretty much everything that I use on a regular basis. You know, the glue, the scissors, that kind of stuff. None of the big equipment. Like, I don't need, you know, 2 embossing folder machines and all that stuff. Oh, thought I had dropped some wax there. Hoping to get this. I don't know how your guys' summer has been, but we've had a pretty rainy, enough rain. Last year this time, it was so dry for us. It's like last year we had a dry summer. So this summer they're making up for it. Keep wanting to grab 2 beads here. I only want 1. Doesn't want to cooperate today. This is what happens when you don't do it for a few days. It's like, I got 2 hooked on there. Sometimes that happens and I can line them up perfectly. I just don't like I've tried those ones that pick up about 6 or so at once. I don't know, I didn't like them. Because you don't, like on this, it's not a straight roll. So you wouldn't really be able to use those on this. Otherwise, you know, there I got 2. You can see I got 2 stuck together there. So we're going to find a place where I can lay 2 right up here. That'll go next to each other nicely. Let's see. I thought I had 1 down here yet. Yep. 1 there yet. Okay, so those are all 1s. I'm going to turn it a little bit. Work on this little flower here. Not sure what I'm going to do with this little one when I'm done. Like I said, you've seen my folder. That's where most of them end up until I decide what I want to do with it. Only have so much wall space too. Okay. So I think I've got all my July 4th projects done. They'll be coming out soon. I tried something I've never done before. We'll see how you guys like that project. Gotta challenge yourself every once in a while and do something you've never done. Like the junk journals I do. I've only been doing them for what, about a year now. I've done albums for years. I've done albums, and I just never dived into the junk journals. They just intimidate me. They still intimidate me because I'm more of a, you know, kind of organized. I like albums because they're more organized and structured and neat. Where junk journals, it's like whatever goes, goes. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to like wreck stuff. But I'm learning. That's the reason I decided to start doing junk journals, to kind of get out of my comfort zone. This was an easy craft to pick up though. There's like no learning curve on this one. I consider it easier than paint by number, which I've done that before. I've done, back in the day, they had paint by number ceramic kits. I don't know if they still do, because, you know, they kind of bore me now. I get bored with the craft sometimes, but I've done a few paint by number ceramic kits too. And, you know, back when I was younger, you try more things, and now it's paper crafting. That's kind of my passion. The fact that you can make 3D projects with paper, you know, is just kind of unbelievable. It's like, you know, you don't think it's possible. And they last for a long time too. So once I got, it was actually, I do a lot of dreaming tree projects. I don't do those on video because Leo does such a great job at doing them on video himself that I don't feel like I want to, you know, take away his thunder, because he's a great teacher. But I've been, ever since he's had his company, I've been following with him and doing his projects, and I have loved them. And that's how I kind of got, albums were the first 3D projects that I started with. And then from there it was, you know, houses and candle holder things, like, and all sorts of different things. And they're so easy. His cards are beautiful. Check him out if you haven't. If you want to get into 3D projects, start with something simple and small, and don't do like me. Don't dive into one of the most, you know, tough projects out there. Like, I do 3D puzzles too. Like, I like those, I like doing those also. And so I've done, they're like the crystal ones where it's like you can make Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse and those kind of 3D figurines out of crystal puzzle pieces. And then I've made a wood carousel puzzle. That one was probably my most difficult, but I managed to get through it, and it actually works. But I managed to get through it. My daughter just bought herself a pinball wood puzzle, 3D puzzle that actually works. She hasn't started working on that yet. That's for more of an expert level. We'll see how that turns out. But I like doing those too. I don't really like doing like regular puzzles. I'm not patient. Same with knitting. I'm not patient for that. I don't like things that are going to take me forever to do. Okay, got a few right there yet. I'm hoping we have my program figured out. I had 2 different programs on my computer, but I don't run them both at the same time. But I think because the ones on the computer, it was affecting the one I was running. So it would always, the one I was running, taping with, would always stop. So far, it seems like it's doing well. We're 11 minutes into it and it hasn't stopped on me yet. But keep our fingers crossed. It is so frustrating sometimes. I mean, you need the program so I can see what I'm doing, so I make sure I stay in camera for you guys. Let's see, one right there. All right, did we get all our 2s? I think so. I think we can move on to our 1s. I don't see any more 2s, and if we do, we'll come back to it. Okay, let's get these back on the rack here and take our 1s out, which is just a little darker blue than the other one. So you probably won't see much of a difference because it's not, the color isn't that much different. So let's start right here. See, you really can't tell. Like you can see it, but you guys probably can't tell. I can barely tell. It's just a tad 1 shade darker than the other one. Down there. I haven't looked on Temu to see what they have for 3D puzzles. I've been too busy with other things that I don't know if I want to get another puzzle. So I've got this going right now. I've got junk journal going right now, which was a viewer request. Trying to work on that right now. Plus my everyday Thursday craft. So I'm going to try to keep up with them. Like I said, if I didn't have my daughter editing, I don't know what I would be doing. So it does take a lot of time. Prepping videos, doing videos. Because I have to do it, my taping, when the dogs are down. So I'm usually taping after 8, 9 o'clock at night because, trust me, they'd be all over me. They'd be trying to get my supplies from me. Like, we'll help you, Mommy. I love those little beasties, but they can be so pesky sometimes. Okay, we're going along pretty good. I don't know if we'll get this done. If we're close, we'll keep going. But because we're at just going on 15 minutes right now, that's not too bad. And my neck is feeling pretty good because I have rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia. And the fibromyalgia affects my neck through my shoulder area in the back. So if I'm, you know, like kind of hunched over for too long, it starts getting really achy. But right now I'm doing okay. Feeling pretty good. And my hands start to cramp when I'm holding on to something like this for a while. But we're okay. Push that one up there a little bit. It tried to get out of its spot. Yeah, my good days and my bad days. Much better though since we started Humira, which, you know, I was rebelling against for as long as I could. But so I'm on the Humira and they had me on still on the methotrexate. We were going to try to come off of the methotrexate again, but we went off it once and it didn't, I wasn't off it for that long. I started to have problems, so I'll probably be on those two for the rest of my life. The Humira is a shot form, and thank goodness it's like a push button shot because I wouldn't be able to give myself a shot. And that's only every 2 weeks, which as I'm sitting here doing this, I'm thinking today is my shot day actually. So I'll have to, when I go upstairs, remember. Won't be the first time I forgot, and then take it the next day. I eventually remember. Okay. I always say there's worse things in life people can get, and if this is what God wants to give me, this is what I'll take. We all have to bear something in life, right? And overall, my RA is doing so much better than when, I think I've had it for like 16, 17 years now. And my mom had it too, but my mom, I could never get her regulated. She's passed on now, but they could never get her regulated, and she always had so much troubles. And I, you know, don't know if it's because I was a little younger than her when I got it, because she got it a little later, and I was a little bit younger than her. So, but it was like really, really bad when they first diagnosed me. When your doctor tells you the first day I meet him, and we're talking about, you know, the future with RA, and he tells you, you could end up in a wheelchair later on in life. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me that. So can we try to prevent that? I'd appreciate that. So far good, so good. I keep moving. That's the thing. And no matter how much pain you're in, you want to keep that body moving. I still mow my own lawn, and let me tell you, I have a pretty big yard. I do it in 2 days, though, because the backyard is fenced in. So I do the backyard a separate day. I can't do the whole thing. I think there it is. I can't do the whole thing. That was a different color anymore. But I get it done, and I keep doing it. I can be pretty sore, but I also choose the day. Like, I try not to do it when I'm in a lot of pain and stuff like that, so I'll skip it. And I also try to keep the lawn, you know, cut. So I'm doing it, like, it grows so fast, I'm doing it every couple of days, just so it doesn't get too long, because that makes it harder on me when I have to really struggle with that lawnmower. And it's just a regular, it's not a rider. I want to exercise, so I had a rider. My husband had a rider, and then when he passed away, I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to use it. I don't want to deal with the gas and the oil. And so I sold it. I had a big snowblower too when my husband passed. I'm like, nope, can't do that. And my neighbor, ever since my husband died, he has been doing it. So I gave him my snowblower. And he's been taking care of me. And my husband's been gone almost 11 years now. And he's been taking care of me every winter. So grateful for him. Just so grateful, because that would be, I'd have to definitely hire somebody, because there's no way I can't even hardly shovel. I can't shovel. I've tried a couple times and like, nope. I can't do it, and I'm not going to risk injuring myself or anything like that. My brother also has fibromyalgia. It's worse on him. He does have a wheelchair he uses sometimes when it gets really bad and stuff like that. But I'm not, my fibromyalgia isn't as bad. They've only detected that about 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years, I think, that they detected that. I just kept putting it off and didn't ask about it. I just thought it was basic, muscle aches from things. But when it got so severe, the pain got so severe that you could hardly even stand up. That's when I finally, okay, what's going on? And I knew it wasn't my RA because our rheumatoid arthritis is in the joints. And I know where this area is. It wasn't the joints. So then they said, nope, you have fibromyalgia, which is common. Like I could also get lupus. That kind of goes hand in hand with rheumatoid arthritis too. Doing good. Just had my physical and all my test results, my blood pressure, cholesterol, all that stuff came out great. Unbelievably, I lost 5 pounds. I have no idea how, but I'll take it. I mean, I did change my diet a little bit, but not much. I stopped all caffeine. I mean, I still drink sodas, but caffeine free. That's about the only main thing I did, really. And I don't think that, I've always been a diet soda drinker. I don't like regular soda. I missed number 6, so let's grab that out while I see it. So we'll grab that and put that in there. So that's why I like having them in these little containers, and I have them on that display thing that I showed you, because when I see one like that, I just grab it and plop it in there. And let me tell you, having 2 3-year-old dogs, I know that's crazy. I don't know what I was thinking about getting 2. One was enough. They keep you very energetic, keep you moving. I cannot walk both of them at once, though. They are just too much for me. If I don't have somebody that can walk with me, then we go on separate walks. I take one at a time. I put one in their kennel and then take the other one, because I can't. They're beagles. They're not, like big dogs, but they're strong dogs. And they're, if you know what beagles' nose controls them. Their nose controls them, and they're great dogs, and they listen, but, they control you. That nose of theirs. Like when we go for a walk, the purebred beagle, her nose is literally on the ground the whole time. The mixed one, she'll sniff, but she doesn't keep her nose straight down. But the purebred, that nose does not come off the ground the whole time. So it is so funny, the difference between those two. Okay, so we're at 24. Yeah, we're not going to get this done all in one day, but let's work on here. Put this in here. I'm going to work down here. I think our easiest dog was, and the easiest to walk, which you would think not, but we had a greyhound. Love that dog. But we had a greyhound, and she was an easy walker. She was a big dog. 55 pounds, I believe, was her max weight. And she took nice, easy, gentle walks. But when she stood on you sometimes she would have to stand. She didn't do it very often, but she had to, she would like to put her paws on your chest, and I'm like, okay, I'm only 5 feet, dog. You're way taller than me. She was a sweetheart. What would be your guys' favorite breed of dog. I don't know that I have a favorite. Like when we got these two, I really wanted something a little bit smaller than a beagle, but my daughter had her heart set on beagles again. So I went for it, but I don't know. You know, when you get to some of your little, like I like little dachshunds. I had a wiener dog when I was young. She was a good, we called her Taco was her name. And him, why am I saying her? Well, that was the only male dog I ever had was Taco. And otherwise, all our dogs have been females. So I tend to call Taco a female sometimes. I always refer to it as she. But it was a he. And didn't live very long. He had heart problems and came home from school one day. It was probably like 11, 12, and Taco was gone in his bed. It was so sad. I'm like, I go screaming for my brother. Remember, I could not, like, you have to take care of Taco. I cannot do it. I cannot bury Taco. Back then, you pretty much, you know, buried your dogs in your yard or, and I'm like, I can't, you've got to go do it. That is the hardest part. Losing an animal. You know, some people think, no, it's just an animal. No, they're, you know, I can't imagine the two I have now. When that day comes and we have to put them down, it's going to break my heart. It's going to break the other one's heart too, because if one, of course, leaves the other, these two are so bonded. It's crazy. So I can just, I watched some YouTube ones about, you know, pets losing their, you know, other bonded pet. It's so sad. Like, I can't, I don't know. I don't know if I ever, like, I want a small dog if I ever, you know, I don't think I'm going to live long enough to, you know, these two might outlast me to begin with because I am in my 60s, and so most likely, you know, my family, people don't live too long. My grandma was in her 80s. My mom was 72, and all her brothers and sisters. No one's, what, my mom lived the longest, 72. There's still a couple left. And one's at 72 right now. And then I had a brother die at 46 and one at 63. I don't think our family, you know, lives that long anyways. But I'm doing my best to stay healthy and active. And let me tell you, having a YouTube channel keeps you busy, keeps your mind working. Because let me tell you, coming up with the projects and, you know, making the, you know, I make samples sometimes, not of the albums. I do of not the junk journals. I don't make samples. The albums, I'll make a sample because I got to make sure it actually works and puts together. But I don't fill the pages in. I just make the base. But and the cards usually not. But some of the other projects, yes, I do make a sample of because you got to make sure it's gonna work together. Like if it's a 3D project, you want to make sure it actually will come together and work. It's like I'm doing it, you know, twice because then I do it for video, of course, for you guys. But it keeps your mind working. And then, of course, taking care of a house because you know, we live in a house. So I own our house. And it's 50 years old now, so you know what happens. Things start going. And I can't do much of the repairs myself. In fact, we're about to paint some of the rooms, and I'm not sure how that's going to go. But I don't really want to call a painter because that's rather pricey. So I'm going to attempt to try to do it myself. I don't have to do it in a hurry. It takes me a while. It takes me a while. I'm kind of a stubborn thing. Anyways, I don't like to ask for help. That's kind of how I just am. I've never been one to ask for help. I try to do things on my own. Nowadays, you got YouTube, so I YouTube it. After my husband passed away, the rear light went out on my truck. I'm like, I'm gonna change it myself. I'm not taking it in. So I YouTubed it, and it really wasn't that hard. And before my husband passed away, he was so funny. He showed me how to change a battery in the truck and everything. I'm like, honey, let's be honest. You can show me all you want, but I'm gonna call somebody for that because there's a lot to do with the batteries aren't easy to get to anymore. And like after he, took the whole thing apart and showed me what to do, and I'm like, no, honey, let's just face it. I'm calling somebody else on this. And then he's like, he wanted to show me how to change a tire and all that stuff. He was so funny. And I go, honey, no. I said, I don't have the strength with rheumatoid arthritis. You don't have a lot of strength. And I go, I'll be calling somebody for that too. I'm not going to be doing, there's certain things I am not going to be doing or attempting. So funny. Because he, when he found out he has cancer, they gave him 2 to 5 years. So we had time to plan some things, and it was so funny. It was like, all these things that he was like showing me, and I'm like, okay, you can do this. There was one thing he didn't want me doing though. It was so funny because we had trees that lined our property pretty much, but because of the trees, and the trees are so old, the roots, all the ground went upwards, and he's like, you can't take the rider. I don't want you driving a rider through that area, because he thought I would tip it over. He cracks me up. And then wouldn't he be surprised I don't even have the rider at all anymore? Nope. And it wasn't like it was that steep of an incline either. It was just so funny. He's like, I don't want you taking the rider in that area. Don't worry. I suppose all husbands are like that. If they, even the wives, if you're terminal, you're going to plan things out. I would have, if it was me first, I would have probably left him a big like journal of things like, okay, now do this and then do that. That'd have probably been me. It's like with the dogs. Now, they like to get fed at certain times. They like their snacks. They even like nap time. It'd be so funny. I'd have probably been like, okay, and do the laundry like this. Grateful for those extra 3 years we had, because it was just a fluke that they found the colon cancer, because he was only 50. And we just had a doctor that, because he went in for something else, and the doctor's like, hey, you're 50, let's do your colonoscopy right away. And not expecting anything. Even the doctor was shocked at what they found. And so we're grateful, because the doctor said that if we didn't discover it at that time, he would have probably been gone within 3 to 6 months without treatment, because it was that he was stage 4 already. They said they gave us 2 to 5, and he made it 3. And then one day he just said, I'm done. I'm not doing any more medicine, because they were giving him experimental stuff at that point. And he says, I'm done. I'm not taking it anymore. And he passed away within 3 months after that. It was pretty quick after he stopped everything, but you know, it's his choice. It's like from the start he was trying to like get my opinion on what he should do and stuff like that. I'm like, honey, I can't. I said, you have to do what is best for you, not what I want you to do. If you don't want to do any treatment, then don't do any treatment. And he chose to fight it for a while, even though he knew there was nothing they could do. And but then that was all he could take. He just was feeling ill all the time and no energy and couldn't do anything anymore. So he was like, I'm done. And boy, when they say that, right away, they put a hospice bracelet on you. They call hospice. Wow, it was so quick with the stuff they did. Once he said, I'm done, you know. Okay, we're going to stop here. We definitely will get this done in the next one. It's almost 40 minutes now. All we have is this little section to do. But I don't, that would take us a little bit a while yet. We don't want to be on here for an hour. It's coming along though. One more video and we should be done. You can see we just have this little section over here to do yet. But see the difference on the two sides? Looking nice. Let me bring it a little bit more down. You can see the whole thing. I love it. It looks so 3D like, doesn't it? Okay, guys. So we'll see you. It'll be the last one. We'll see you next week. And then that'll be the last one. And then I want you guys let me know if you want me to continue doing a diamond painting project. Like I said, I keep these on Wednesday. So if you like to watch them, you can watch them. You know, I probably put you to sleep because, you know, don't have much to talk about. But anyways, so if you want me to continue, we'll pick a different project later on then. Otherwise, that'll be the end, I think, of the diamond painting one. All right, guys. I enjoyed this. I will see you later. Bye, everyone.